So in triangle RST, angle S is 126 degrees, side S is 12 units, and T is 7 units. So determine the values of angle T if they exist. And here's why it's saying if they exist. And that when we have a triangle, and I'm trying to draw one here, it's pretty ugly actually. Let's try it one more time. Still not the most beautiful thing, but if we have an angle here, whatever the largest angle is of the three angles, so we'll enable this 1, 2, and 3, and whatever the largest angle is, it is going to be opposite the longest side. So largest angle, 1 here, is opposite the longest side. Largest angle is opposite the longest side. And the smallest angle, so here in this picture, angle 3 is the smallest. Smallest angle is opposite the shortest side. So the shortest side being this side over here. And now I guess the middlest angle, the one in between, does correspond to the middle side length. Now, if you have them all equal, for example, if it's an equilateral triangle, a 60, 60, 60, then the sides are all equal as well. When you have two two angles that are equal, so if this was a isosceles triangle here, oh, my drawings get worse and worse. If these two angles are equal, then their side lengths are equal. If they're both smaller than the third angle, then their sides are smaller than that third side. However, if they're both larger than that third angle, then their opposite sides are longer than that third side. So just something to keep in mind here, that as we work through these problems, the reason asked that if they exist is because we need to be cognizant of that idea that the largest angle needs to correspond, be opposite to the longest side, and the smallest angle needs to correspond to the shortest, should I add a T there, shortest side. So let's sketch a triangle here. So we've got RST, and S is 126 degrees, so I'm going to make this angle over here S and have it be larger than 90, so my sketch is somewhat accurate. So 126 degrees, this is angle S. Side S, the one opposite of it, is 12 units. And then T, so which one do we want T to be? T is going to be 7, so let's call this one over here side T, so this will be angle T. And we could have chosen the other side, it's all just really arbitrary. Determine the values of T if they exist. And so our ratio is going to be, this over here is, side length T is 7. All right, so we're going to have the side length S, so 12, divided by the sine of S, so the sine of 126 degrees, is equal to side length T, which is 7, divided by sine of T. Okay, so now we're looking for T, and so hopefully you can see we're going to end up using the inverse sine here. Now if our answer comes out to be something more than, well, 180 minus 26, and still allowing for something for that third angle, but if it's going to be greater, and let's find out exactly what that is. So 180 degrees minus 126 degrees, we've got 54 degrees. If our answer is bigger than 54 degrees, then this triangle can't exist, and really would need to be even a little bit less than that to allow something for angle let's call it V over here. You need to allow something for angle V because there are 3 angles do add up to 180. All right, that all being said, let's work our way through. So we want to get sine of t by itself. And hey, since this is a proportion here, if we invert both sides, we can do that, and it would happen if we multiply both sides by t, multiplied both sides by sine of 126, divided both sides by 12, and divided both sides by 7, but we can do that all in one step here. So sine of 126 degrees over 12 is equal to sine of t over 7. And to get sine of t by itself, we'll multiply both sides by 7 here. So that times 7. All right, so let's go ahead and work that out a bit. So we are going to end up with, and let's figure out what we want in our calculator. We want the inverse sine. So we're going to take the inverse sine of, and then what was that going to be equal to? So inverse sine of 7 times the sine of 126 degrees over 12. So we're going to take the inverse sine because we want to get to angle t, the inverse sine of whatever it's equal to. So sine of 126 times 7, and that all divided by 12. So let's go ahead and hit that into our calculator. So t is equal to that right there. There we go. So the inverse sine of 7 times the sine of 126 degrees divided by 12. And we end up with 28.2 degrees. So t equals 28.2 degrees. Now, is that within our realm of possible answers? And yeah, it's less than 54 degrees, so we're okay. All right, hope that helped.